What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about the top 5 short squeeze stocks that you need to add to your watch list going into this upcoming week. So I'm going to go over all the things that you need to know, but first make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, going into this upcoming week, Monday is closed on a side note, but you do have a couple Fed speakers throughout the week. Wednesday, you have the FOMC minutes. Historically, at least over the last 3 occurrences, this hasn't caused any negativity in the market. If anything, it just more reassured and kind of led for higher highs. So again, that is coming out Wednesday. You also have permits and starts. That is on Wednesday. And then the typical stuff on Thursday. And then Friday, existing home sales. So I think all in all, a pretty timid week, but you do have a lot of good momentum in a lot of stocks that is going to roll over into this week. So potentially you could see shorts kind of get screwed in some aspects. Some of the stocks I'm going to be talking on, shorts are rather overextended, so again, something to keep in mind. And in case you are new to the channel, I don't just go over the most heavily shorted stocks. It's a good combination of recent price performance, number of shares being shorted, just a lot of other kind of attributing factors. So I feel like it definitely does work out. Even if you look back at a lot of my previous videos, many of the stocks do continue to go up quite significantly. So again, something to keep in mind. But without further ado, let's get right to stock number 5. So you have Aurora Innovation, ticker AUR. Time of doing this video, $10.19 over the last 1 year, up 209%. Over the last 1 month, up 56.89. So definitely some pretty good momentum for that. This is the company profile, so feel free to pause it, read through it. It is based out of Pittsburgh in the States, but we are here because of this. So like I said, even though it's not overly heavily shorted, good combination of recent price performance and the shorts that are in it, it makes for a fairly good kind of candidate for it to really move higher. But 7.88% of the free float is being shorted. Works to be 80.38 million shares overall are being shorted. Short score is 62.7. So the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening, as well as this. I want to bring this to your attention, DTC. So the higher the number, essentially the larger of the squeeze there is. So that ultimately takes the number of shares that is overall being shorted, kind of factors in the daily volume, and that's how you get 5.9 days. Aside from all of that, though, you do have that there's roughly around in excess of 10 million shares available to be shorted. Reason why I bring that up is when it comes down to stocks that are somewhat limited supply, you could see some corresponding buying from big players such as BlackRock or Vanguard, as they like to buy these types of stock just to lend out. So again, I'm going to bring that up, but nonetheless, this is stock number 5. Moving on to stock number 4, you have ticker XLO, Xilio Therapeutics, sitting at $1.14 over the last 1 year, up 90%. Over the last 1 month, it is up 5%. So kind of pulling back slightly, but still nonetheless a good amount of volume as well as recent momentum. This is what they do. So biotech, 73 employees, founded in 2016, but right here, 74.79% is that short score. 6.33% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 1.27 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 63.25. And you can kind of see shorts have been very reactive to the recent price action. So with it going up, you see short interest go from like 0.8 to 8.54. That was the recent peak. Shorts did return a little bit, so 400,000 shares on Friday, but nonetheless, this definitely is something that you kind of need to add to your watch list, and there's roughly around 95,000 shares available to be shorted. So you could see some corresponding buying going into this upcoming week. Moving on to stock number 3, this one's a very popular one. I see a lot of chatter about this, and that is JTAI. So ticker JTAI, sitting at 603, did go up 133% on Friday. So pretty impressive stuff. Over the last 1 year, though, not so impressive, down 96.73, but still all in all, definitely good news did come out. And it looks as though that there is going to be a spin-off, and this Fly exclusive reaches definitive agreement to acquire JTAI aviation business. And so it goes over a lot of terms and conditions, very vague, but it goes over the actual amount that is going to be paid. So roughly between 12 and 22 million. And if we go over here, the market cap is 7.85. So essentially there is still a lot more room for it to go higher. And plus, if you add in that 16.77% of the free floats being shorted, this makes for a very interesting kind of scenario. But despite the news dropping on Friday, you did have shorts also increase 28,000 shares. Worked out to be a grand total of 204,000 shares overall are being shorted. Short score is 78.75, and then through IBKR, it does indicate roughly around 15,000 shares is available to be shorted. So you could see some corresponding buying as a byproduct of that. So this is stock number 3. Moving on to stock number 2, this one was on the list last week, and that is ticker AIFF, so Firefly Neuroscience, sitting at 901, did go down 41% on Friday, but over the last 5 days though, it is still up 163%. So this is a good representation, like I said, why you need to add these stocks to your watch list, because even if you did buy in when I did my video last week, you'd be up 163% based on that. But this is the company profile. So healthcare technology, 7 employees based out of good old Toronto, Canada, but 132.75% of the free float is being shorted. So definitely some sketchy stuff is happening. And based on this, it does show 3.27 million shares overall are being shorted. Shares on loan, 2.31 million. So of course, the math isn't really kind of jiving for that. So that does insinuate that there is a lot of naked shorting occurring. But cost to borrow average is 412.7. And so when it comes down to that, that is an annual rate, not a daily rate. So kind of just be aware of that. Short score is 80.04. And they've been very reactive to the recent price action. So with it going up, shorts have really doubled down. So short interest was roughly beginning of February, 20.87. And even kind of extending it further in January, it was 6%. So shorts have definitely doubled down quite a lot with this company. But as of right now, there's 100 lonely shares available to be shorted. So this is probably going to see some buying as a byproduct of that. And if we kind of zoom out a little bit and look back, you see typically a lot of these types of spikes do occur, but it looks as though a lot of people want to short this stock, so it goes pretty fast. So changes quite a lot. So again, this is stock number 2 that you need to add to your watch list. And finally, with all that said, let's get right to stock number 1, and that is ticker GRAL. So GRAL Inc. sitting at 55.02, did go up 4.64% on Friday. It's been trading less than a year. So over the last 6 months, it is up 257%. Over the last 5 days alone, up 70.41. So definitely building some pretty good momentum there. This is what they do. So biotech, roughly 1,200 employees, founded in 2015, but 23.95% of the free float is being shorted. Works it to be 5.32 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost per average 7.3, short score 84.45, DTC 4.77. So again, higher the number, potentially the higher the squeeze ish when it comes down to that. But there's also 10,000 shares available to be shorted. So potentially you could also see some buying pretty much in all the stocks except for Aurora, the first one. That one had quite a lot of available shares. But yeah, this is going to be a very interesting week on how everything is going to be coming out. I think there's also a lot of expectation that Trump is going to be talking about tariffs. And so let's say if he doesn't, or if it's timid or kind of just pushes it back again, then the market's going to see that as very, very optimistic. So let me know your viewpoint on all of this. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. What other kind of stocks do you feel are squeeze plays this upcoming week, and potentially which ones? Throw some tickers in the description below. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon. I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.